Hello, Simple Stories retailers. It's Jana Eubank. I'm here today to share with you how to put together the file folder mini album base for the Say Cheese Halloween file folder mini album that is in the customer portal. This, as with all our classes, we definitely suggest that you put together one or two of the projects before teaching it to a group so that you yourself are extremely familiar with the way that the project goes together so that you can answer the questions. Now, we have all the cutting instructions and the assembly for the file folder base of the album in the instructions, but it was a bit tricky to photograph because of the light color of the folders, and so we have provided photos of each page. And as you cut and assemble your album, you may want to refer to these so you can see how it comes together. But I also wanted to show you this on video so that you can get a better idea. It seems a bit confusing as you read it, but once you get the gist of it, it will make sense. So basically, what we're doing in a nutshell is we're creating a 5-inch wide by 6-inch tall album base. Okay, so we are going to use 4 file folders. The first 3 folders that you will need is a top tab folder, a center tab folder, and a bottom tab folder. These 3 you're going to use to create the pages of the album. Now the final 4th folder that you need, you are also going to cut it to include the tab, but you're really just going to create a single flat panel that is 5 inches wide by 6 inches tall, and that's going to be the front cover. So we'll get to that in a minute, but first I want to show you how to do the pages. So we'll set that aside. Basically what you're going to do is you're going to cut each folder, including the tab, to 6 inches high. So this first section, you're going to place it on your trimmer. You're going to put it, you want to include the tab, so you're going to put it face down so that you're including the tab, and you're going to cut it at the 6-inch mark, okay? So you will cut it here, and then when you take it out, you will have this top section that is 6 inches high, and it will look like this. Okay, so you're just cutting that. Now the bottom part you're just going to set aside. That you're going to use for later, and some of the pieces, extra pieces, you aren't even going to use. So just right now, just worry about cutting that 6-inch strip and then set the extra pieces aside. So after you do the first one, you're going to repeat that for the other 2. For the center tab, you are going to cut off, you want it to be a 6-inch strip, including the center tab. So you will be cutting off a little bit of the bottom and a little bit of the top. So you will be cutting it to create a 6-inch tall strip that looks like this. So you can see you're cutting about this much off the top and this much off the bottom. Those extra pieces you can just set aside, and what you're going to worry about the most are these 6-inch strips. Okay, so as we've done those top 2, you will also cut a 6-inch high strip, including the bottom tab, and that will look like this. So after you have those 3 pages cut, let's talk about the cover. So as I mentioned before, you're really just going to cut a 6-inch by 5 panel out of this one. So cut a 6-inch high strip like you did with the other ones. Then you're going to open it up, and you're going to cut it, you're going to cut it 5 inches wide, including the tab. So you want the tab as part of the cover. So here I've measured 5 inches wide, hopefully that will focus, and we're going to cut right here at this mark. All right, so I'm going to flip it over. I'm actually going to cut it this way because I can use the tab to find the 5-inch mark, and then I'm going to slice it right here. Okay, so that's my cover. So this 4th folder, this piece, I'm just going to set aside with the other pieces that I have extra. So now you have this panel piece that's going to serve as the very front cover, and then these 3 strips. The top tab strip that's 6 inches high, the center tab strip that's 6 inches high, and this back strip that's 6 inches high. Now in the instructions, it will tell you to fold the pages into a W shape, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So let me set this trimmer aside. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to fold, here's the first one, you're going to fold each of the pages back on itself to the original fold mark in the folder. So you're going to fold this one this way, then you're going to flip it over and fold this one the opposite way. Okay, that will create a W shape. So again, here's that first top tab. You fold this part back on itself, and then you flip it over and fold this part back on itself. And once you have that, you're going to flip it over like this, and you're going to turn it so that all the tabs, once you've folded it into that W shape, are on the edge, okay? So you will repeat that with the center one. So here's the center one. I'll put the first one over here. You're going to fold this panel back on itself, flip it over, and fold this panel back on itself. Flip it over, and then of course we're going to bind the album on the left, so you will need to flip that around and keep all the tabs on this edge. And we're going to be stacking these pages together. So there's the first one, there's the second one. Then for the final one, we have the bottom tab. Again, fold the pages back on themselves like this. Flip it over, fold it back. And when you fold it, I should make note that when you fold the tab back on itself, you're going to line up this. You want the tabs to stick out because that's what makes it cute. So when you line it up to fold with that original fold edge, you're going to use this part of the folder to line up with that folded edge. So again, here's that bottom strip. Fold it back on itself. Flip it over. Take this part of the folder and line it up here. And there you've created the page. We're going to flip it over. And of course, we want the tab on the outside, so we just turn that around and then we can stack it. So here's our top tab, our center tab, and our final tab. I will show you how to glue these together, but basically you're just stacking them on top of themselves. So there's the top one, the top tab, which now looks like a bottom tab, the center tab, and the bottom tab. I hope I'm making sense, but you're just going to stack them on top of each other. Okay, sorry, I stopped and started the video for a second because I decided to give you a bit more detail. So if I'm repeating something, please forgive me. So we have these 3 sections, the top tab, the center tab, and the bottom tab. And because we folded them back on each other and flipped them around, the bottom tab is now on the top, and the top tab is now on the bottom. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. Now to create the pages, these are going to be the inside pages. We're just going to stack these on top of each other. So here's the bottom tab. We're going to stick the center one there. We're just going to sandwich them and stack them all together. Okay? Now we're going to adhere all of these pieces together to create the pages. Our 4th file folder that we cut to create the cover, we can choose whether to have the tab piece sticking out on the top, or if you'd rather have it on the bottom, you can flip it out and have it on the bottom. In our sample photo, we have it at the top right here. So let's keep it consistent with that just for the sake of showing you how to put this together. So I'm going to flip it over that way. Now when I adhere this to this other folder, I want to create a pocket here. So I'm just going to adhere it against this left edge and the top and bottom, leaving this side open. So let's add adhesive here, here, and here. and glue that into place. And that will create our cover and the inside pocket for our cover right there. Okay, sorry I had to stop and start the video. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do, we have this W piece, right, that folds out. We've added our cover to this front section, creating this pocket. And now we're going to create the next page. And this page, these two pages are rectangular shaped and they're back to back. Now we want to create a little pocket to slide our tag into. So when we open this up, we're just going to adhere two sides together because the folded edge is already together. So we're going to put adhesive down the left side and the bottom. Close that W on top of itself. So we've adhered here and here. And when we look at the page from the top, we have a little pocket where we can stick our tag. So that would be the second page. Second page and the back of the second page. Okay, so now we have our second page that has a little pocket that we've created by adhering the left and the bottom edges together. So now we are to the back of this first piece of the file folder, and we are just going to continue adhering the pages together. So on this one, we want to create a pocket with this part of the file folder. So we are going to add adhesive to the bottom, the side, and the top. So let's go ahead and do that. We've got the top. Sorry about that. I've got a fuzzy on my finger. The left edge and the bottom. Then we're going to take the first file folder and adhere it to the second file folder, just by lining up the left straight edges. Connecting the first file folder strip to the second one. So that will create our third page. So there's the third page front, and then when we adhere it to the other folder, it creates the third page back, and I need to push that down a little bit more. So now you have this little pocket to put a card. Now again, we have the center part of the folder. Remember, it was in a W shape. And we're going to create a pocket for the tag by adhering the left edge and the bottom edge together. So I'm going to open this up, add adhesive to the left edge and the bottom edge, and glue those two sections together. Okay. There's the original fold of the file folder, and if we look at it from the top, we've got this little pocket to put one of those tags, okay? So that would be page 3. Now, if we're going to continue in this fashion, so we're going to do page 4, and this is the back piece of the center file folder, and then the front piece of the last file folder. And we're going to adhere these together on the left edge and the top and the bottom. Again, connecting those together and creating a pocket. So let's go ahead and add adhesive to the left, the bottom, and the top. I'm going to pick that up and align the left edges. So all the fold edges will go together to create the spine of the album. Okay, so there's that page. Flip it over and we've created a little pocket for one of those cards. We're going to keep going. Again, here's that W, that center of the W, the peak, and we want to create the tag pocket here in the top of that page. So we're going to add adhesive on the back of this section to the left and to the bottom. So I'm going to open that up and put adhesive to the left and the bottom. I'm going to close it on itself, flatten those or just press those together. And I've now created the 5th page that has this pocket in the top for a tag. And then finally the 6th page and the back cover is just this final section of the file folder. So if we look at it from the side, you can see that we've adhered all the folded edges together. All the tabs are on the right, and as we go through each page, we've created the pockets because we've been strategic in how we've used our adhesive. Okay, so we've got this pocket here. We have this pocket here that was created from the peak of the W. This is the last section of the first file folder adhered to the first section of the second file folder, and we've created the pocket there. There's the top pocket here. There's the last section of the file folder connected to the third file folder strip, and we've created that pocket there. Then again, the top pocket, and then the last page. So hopefully that's making sense so far. That's how you put together the base of the file folder. Now, something that you may be a little confused on as well are the tags that you cut to go inside the top. So let me grab one of those. Okay, so at the beginning of cutting the file folders, we just cut them into 6-inch strips, and then we had all these pieces left over of the 5-inch strips. And these are the pieces you're going to use to cut your tags. Okay, so you're going to cut 6 of these tags, and they are 6 1/4 by 3 1/4. And then you're just going to use an angle tool or a ruler to cut these at the angle that you desire. 3 of these tags will be used to go in the top pockets that we created. Okay, those will go in there, and you'll be decorating them with paper. So we've got that page, this page, and then this page. So 3 of them will be used for that. The other 3 are going to become pages within your album. So you're going to score them at the 4 7/8 mark. So you're going to take the tag and you're going to score it. And you're going to fold it. And this section is where you're going to adhere to the book. And basically, you're going to adhere these tags on the pages that don't have this little dip from the file folder. So we're going to flip past page number 2, and we're going to adhere one here. Okay, so you would just glue this here, and this is all before you're adding pattern paper. And don't worry about this tab because the pattern paper that you cut, the panel will cover that. So right now we're just still creating the pages. So one tag will be adhered there. Actually, I think it's the bottom, forgive me. I think we do it on the bottom, but you can choose. Really, that's, when it comes down to it, that's your choice. So there's one there, then this has the little dip, so we're not gonna put a tag there. This is more of a plain page, so the second tag that we score is going to be adhered here for this fun little additional page. And again, this will be covered by the paper panel that you put there. And then the third tag that you score is going to go in the back. So again, this page spread has this little dip, so we're not going to put a tag there, but we are going to put one here on this final page. And I believe this one is glued at the bottom, if I'm remembering right. All right, so that one will get glued there before you add the panels. From there, you should be good to go. That is how you put the file folder mini album together. I hope this cleared it up for you. It really is a lot simpler than you think. Thanks for bearing with us with the written instructions. I know that it can be a bit tricky, especially when you have all these tabs involved and the W folds, but hopefully this video helped solve that and you have a better idea of how to put the base of this folder together. It's a really fun project. I know that you and your store are going to have a lot of fun doing it, so enjoy, and we'll see you again soon.